Welcome to the night where we light up the spark. We're trading crypto, finance, you'll be mad on the charts. Hosted by the one, Lunar Beaches top shark. Dive deep into the numbers cause this ain't no lark. We're crunching all the data, making money moves fast. From Wall Street to the blockchain, making predictions last. Community together in this financial blast. Markets after dark, I shatter ceilings made of glass. Mad on the charts with Lunar's bright lights. Crypto markets soaring through the night. Follow the trends, see future in sight. It's markets after dark, the financial flight. From Bitcoin to Ethereum, we're mapping the road. Stock tips and insights, secrets ready to unload. Trading strategies, sharp on knowledge be showed. Let Lunar Beaches guide you to the mother lode.
Welcome to Markets After Dark, where we go mad on the charts, going over the market, giving you some insights, trading insights, some macro analysis, some news, all the things. Every Sunday through Thursday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Piper Academy Network. I'm Lunar Beaches Crypto. And you know what I want to see? I want to see some waves in the chat to symbolize the wave. The waves. The tsunami that is about to hit the crypto market. This is big. I don't care what anybody says. This is big. Long term, it's big. Inside information, maybe? Maybe I have some. It's pretty big. We will find out tomorrow how accurate my inside information is. But we'll see. You talk. Just wait. So yeah, how's it going, guys? How you doing? There goes the waves. Love seeing the waves in the chat. Welcome to Markets After Dark. Let's bring up, oh, I forgot to do it pre-stream. Let me do this real quick. Before I bring up the beautiful people, I've got to put them in place. What is going on? Welcome to the Madhouse, where we've got waves on waves. Ride the waves of the crypto market all the way to the moon. This is my tagline as Lunar Beaches Crypto. Lunar Beaches Crypto, where we ride the waves of the market all the way to the moon. What's going on, everybody? Let's say good evening to the chat. What's going on? Trade Intuition, bingo, and a bango. What's going on, my guy? I hope you're having a good evening. Good evening, Alexandra G. The best mod in the biz. All set. The level is set. We are level, and we are clear for cutting. I don't know. What's going on, all set? Hope you're doing well. Kasim, my guy. Hope you're doing well. 30. What is up? J-Vi. Where's the waves, J-Vi? I know you showed up late, but you need to add your waves. All right? Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody. It is a good night. John Jermaine, what's going on? It is a good, it is a beautiful, it is a wonderful, it is an amazing, it is a radical evening. We've got some big news. Let's go ahead and go over it. I know a lot of people are going to be talking about this tomorrow, but I'm happy that I get to be here this evening to talk to you guys about it. Pretty cool stuff. Let's get into it. And let me explain to you why I think that this is actually bullish news. Now remember, news is just news. Macro environment is still tough. Stocks sold off $1.5 trillion today. So obviously, but considering that the stock market sold off $1.5 trillion, the crypto market barely budged. Ironically enough, this bullish news tanked Bitcoin. But I think it's only because people hadn't really processed it to this fullest extent. But we'll go over some key things that I've seen people point out, and we'll discuss. And yeah, welcome to FOMO Friday. Has it ever been in any more apt name than tonight? FOMO Friday, right here on Markets After Dark. R.S. Miller, what's going on? R.S. Miller and Robert Mulligan, what is going on, gentlemen? How you doing? Okay, for a second I thought I saw wifey, but it was just her emoji. But that's all right. All right, guys, let's go ahead. 800 million in 60 minutes. What? Oh yeah. John Germain, good evening. Oh, that was how much was crashed. I gotcha. I bought on the dip and I'm ready. Yeah, it might have been a good dip to buy, but the government might not start buying. Well, they're saying they're not going to be buying, but we'll see about that. It may not even be the federal government that buys. Hint, hint. It might be state governments. Big news on that front too. Texas today passed a bill in the House for a strategic Bitcoin reserve. It still has to make it through the Senate, from my understanding. But they might be the first one to fall. Next order up might be a Utah. I don't know, just something that I heard. So we'll see. We'll see tomorrow what happens. We do have the crypto summit tomorrow to think about, or to pay attention to, or see the outcome of. It would be really cool if they did it like public, did like a public thing, had like a live stream going or something as they're doing the whole roundtable thing. Actually, I think being that we're talking about crypto, something that we all know and love because of its transparency, at least Bitcoin, its transparency, which gives it honesty, which makes it honest money. Yeah, I think that we should be able to see what they're talking about. But here we go. Here we go. See, we've already got the FUD. R.S. Miller's already spreading the FUD right there. Spreading the FUD. But let's get out of it. Let's not do the FUD. Okay? No fuddy-duddy. Because we're going to go over this. And then after this, we're going to go over a couple of other things that we should think about. And we'll see. They should do an American Nation lottery. No. What's up, people of the internet? What's up, CJ? Straight vaping. How you doing? Take that money with big payout and the rest to the reserves. We'll see. I posted something on X I want to get into as well. Just a little thought that I had about Ripple's whole role in all of this. But yeah, LBC, keep us grounded. I'm trying, but just wait, because I might be making you lift off like my microphone. Okay, I might be making you lift off like the microphone. Okay, it doesn't even want to stay grounded, right? It just wants to keep moving to the upside, just like everything else. But let's not get too bullish, okay? At the same time, on that note, but let's just go over this David Sachs tweet. We'll start the show off with that. But before we do, don't forget to check out our amazing affiliates, Blowfin, NordVPN, and Chart Prime. Check them all out. Link in the description down below. Thank you all for being here. Let's get into this. He's bullish tonight. Yeah, I'm a little bullish. But like I said, macro econ is still shaky, so we kind of got to be like, all right, let's patience. Patience pays. All right, patience pays. But let's get into the bullish news. How do I do this again? Control plus. Okay, so we can all read this. And so my old eyes can read this too. All right, here we go. David Sachs. Just a few minutes ago, President Trump signed an executive order to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. The reserve will be capitalized with Bitcoin owned by the federal government that was forfeited as part of criminal or civil asset forfeiture proceedings. This means it will not cost taxpayers a dime. It is estimated that the U.S. government owns about 200,000 Bitcoin. However, there has never been a complete audit. The executive order directs a full accounting of the federal government's digital asset holdings. How do we not have a full audit before we come to this conclusion? First of all, we should have already had a full audit before we come to the conclusion that we're going to do a strategic reserve. But I digress. The U.S. will not sell any Bitcoin deposited into the reserve. This is the part that everybody keeps skipping over. The U.S. will not sell. I'm not effing selling any Bitcoin deposited into the reserve. People are too busy looking at the buying part, but they're skipping over the they will not sell part. 200,000. They're now the largest holder of Bitcoin. The reserve is like a digital Fort Knox for the cryptocurrency, often called digital gold. Premature sales of Bitcoin have already cost U.S. taxpayers over $17 billion in lost revenue. Now the federal government will have a strategy to maximize the value of its holdings. The Secretaries of Treasury and Commerce are authorized to develop budget-neutral strategies for acquiring additional Bitcoin. So they're going to come up with ways to acquire Bitcoin without affecting the budget. We want the budget to be neutral. So if we're going to buy Bitcoin, we've got to not spend money somewhere else, essentially. But they also, budget neutral strategies. But how do you do budget neutral strategies but it not include taxpayers' money? So it'll be interesting to see an explanation on that. Provided that those strategies, look at that, have no incremental cost on American taxpayers. Maybe I should continue reading before I start a thought. In addition, the executive order establishes a U.S. digital asset stockpile. So this is where your altcoins will go. Consisting of digital assets other than Bitcoin forfeited in criminal or civil proceedings. The government will not acquire additional assets for the stockpile beyond those obtained through forfeiture proceedings. The purpose of the stockpile is responsible stewardship of the government's digital assets under the Treasury Department. This caught my eye. Responsible stewardship. Why does this catch my eye? None of you will probably get it. This catches my eye because one of the most common things said within the XRP community is that the XRP community views Ripple as responsible stewards of the XRP escrow. I posed a thought on X saying, what if, since they're not going to be buying, but what if Ripple is to hand over the escrow to the United States government every month when it unlocks 1 billion tokens are released? Do they just hand that over to the government, or does the government somehow buy it, or what? That's the 100 billion XRP question. It's actually more like 45 billion XRP at this point in escrow. They started off with 55. They're down to like 45, somewhere in there. So, is that a deal that was made to hand over the XRP. We'll see. We'll see. Promises made, promises kept. President Trump promised to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve and digital asset stockpile. Those promises have been kept. This executive order underscores President Trump's commitment to making the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. I want to thank the president for his leadership and vision in supporting this cutting-edge technology and for his rapid execution in supporting the digital asset industry. His administration is truly moving at tech speed. I also want to thank the President's Working Group on Digital Asset Markets, especially Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick for their help and support in getting this done. Finally, Bo Hines played a critical role as Executive Director of our working group. So, Michael Saylor says, I have a few budget-neutral strategies for acquiring additional Bitcoin. Part of the escrow, I would think, not the whole thing. Yeah, could be. The crypto market tanked on this news. Trump kept his word, but this is definitely not what people wanted. That's all right. Potentially, yes. Potentially, yes. Let's see. Give me 1 second, because I want to read off something else. Here we go. So this is by Matt Hogan. Retweeting David Sachs saying, impacts of the strategic Bitcoin reserve. 1. Dramatically reduces the likelihood the U.S. government will someday ban Bitcoin. Huge win. Okay? Huge win for the market. 2. Dramatically increases the likelihood that other nations will establish strategic Bitcoin reserves. True. 3. Accelerates the speed at which other nations will consider establishing strategic Bitcoin reserves because it creates a short-term window for nations to front-run potential additional buying by the U.S. 4. Makes it much harder for institutions, from national account advisor platforms to quasi-governmental agencies like the IMF, to position Bitcoin as somehow dangerous or inappropriate to hold. So, it is all about changing the mindsets, okay? It's all about, this is like legitimizing it. And it really helps to do that by not using taxpayer dollars to buy it. It is just a reserve of whatever they can acquire, however they can acquire it without buying it using taxpayer dollars. And I mean, and this is big. Now, remember, 1, this is only an executive order. You still have to go through Congress and pass a law and enshrine this into law in order for it to really stick. That's one downside. One hurdle. That's what I'll call it. One hurdle that we have to get. That's the next hurdle, okay, is actually getting it enshrined into law. Now, that's where I think we could see the crypto summit come into place, where the crypto summit is where all the like-minded individuals come in, all the people that have been under regulation, that have been doing their own regulations on their exchanges. I think this is why the exchanges, co-founders and CEOs of all the biggest exchanges are going to be at the table tomorrow at the crypto summit, because they're the ones that have, 1, been dealing with the most regulation from the SEC and the government, but 2, they are the ones that have been regulating crypto themselves on their own exchanges. They have their own strategies to holding the assets, to making sure that the assets are safe and and making sure that consumers and customers are safe. They, to the best of their abilities, you know. I don't know the last time Coinbase got hacked. I'm just saying. Coinbase, but Coinbase, Gemini, and others are going to be there. I don't know. Vanguard, I'm not sure. Vanguard? I don't know. There's going to be a few CEOs and co-founders at the crypto summit, so I have a feeling they're going to be playing a role in like possibly even identifying what they really think should be in the reserve from a legitimate crypto standpoint, like something that could actually do something and be worth something, not just like meme coins or something that doesn't do anything or mean anything, you know? So, and is decentralized and all kinds of stuff. So, I doubt, Charles Hoskinson said, I don't think they'll be going over any legislation. So, but I guess we'll see. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some kind of excerpt or some kind of summary or what's the word? Something from the notes from the meeting, whatever. The what everybody was talking about. I can't think of the word. I know it starts with an S, but anyways. So yeah, will dramatically accelerate, I think, Bitcoin adoption. This kind of gives the stamp of approval by the wealthiest nation on earth, 1, the nation with the strongest military, 2, and the nation with the biggest stockpile, 3. There was another one that I just thought of in my head, but I'm trying to think of it. Adoption, legitimize. Yeah, that's good enough. It just legitimizes Bitcoin and crypto. And it kind of gets the executive order, at least gets people talking. So, summary is supposed to be tomorrow evening after 5:30 p.m. Okay. When Money Dies is a great book on how governments mismanage currencies always. Hope they don't end up with enough power to fork BTC to nullify the 21 million limit when it becomes tempting. I don't think they will end up with that much power. And who knows? Maybe Satoshi's been waiting for this exact thing to unlock his Bitcoin. Doubt it, but you never know. Yeah, I know Charles isn't going to be there, but I think he said, I don't know. He said it's probably not that important that he won't be there. That will not happen. Yeah, I agree. I don't think that'll happen. Mostly because you say governments mismanage currencies, but those are currencies that they own or that they create themselves, right? Fiat. Yeah, exactly. They will need to pass a vote on the blockchain. Purist will vote. Veto. Purist will veto. Yes. So, I think this is super bullish, but I understand why we saw the sell-off, because people saw we're not buying. First of all, not yet. They say they're not going to buy, but they said they're going to have budget neutral ways of acquiring, aka buying, or at least holding. Number 2, they said they're not going to sell. So they'll never sell. They're never effing selling. All right. Do you use vector candles? You mean like these? You mean like these? These vector candles of this indicator that I already have like loaded up in my indicator list over here? I think I use them. From time to time, I use them. But good evening, Kelly. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great evening. So yeah, vector candles. So we got a nice big bright blue candle over here. Not surprised that we came down to tap into that liquidity down there. So these vector candles, what these represent is just high volume candles. This is where price likes to revert back to at some point. So if you move to the upside and you see that you've got the vector candles and they haven't been reclaimed, meaning price hasn't come back to them prior, well, as price is moving up, then you're much more likely to come back down and tap those vector candles, especially sitting here on the 1 hour. But we can see we've had a lot of volume coming in here within this range, and it's about time. It might be time to buy because, all right, we are seeing, this is on the 1 hour though, so, but we are seeing some maxed out true 7, some clipping on the bottom side, which typically means it is close to or about time to buy. Golly, I'm all stuffy. What up, LBJ? Practicing some mindfulness, walking my dogs. Who's LBJ? Did you mean LBC? That's me? Are they just imbalances? Yeah, essentially. They're essentially imbalances in the chart. Just high volume imbalances. Volume imbalances. Good news. And who says they will never sell? And is it written in the Constitution? No, that's why they still gotta get it passed in Congress. You gotta make it a bill, but this at least gets the conversation started, and then we get to see how other nation states react. So, Baba Yaz, thank you for the question. Randy, what's going on? Hey fam, what's going on? Hey fam, what up? What it do? Let's see. I can't decide if vector candles are a gimmick. They don't always get reclaimed, and often the big vector are also just forming fair value gaps, which is why they get reclaimed. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Oh, I meant LBC. I figured you did. But yeah, the fair value gaps for sure. I mean, that's what bonus points, little bonus points. If it is a vector candle and it creates a fair value gap, it might be a level to pay attention to. I'm just saying, because it's much more likely to be a strong level. Now, there's 2 ways to use a fair value gap. And one of them is as fuel for continuation or as a level of supply or demand for rejection or support or bounce. Rejection or bounce, respectively. So, yep, 2 different ways to play off of the fair value gaps. What exactly is a fair value gap? How to spot it, or I mean, a fair value gap is just an imbalance in the chart. It is where you get an influx of orders on one side of the market while the other side does not fill the orders. This is why price tends to revert back to a fair value gap so that you can fill those orders that were left unfilled. But a fair value gap would look something like this. I'll go ahead and draw it out. So it's a 3 candle move is a fair value gap. It's a 3 candle move. Okay. A lot of people will call this a point of interest or something like that, but not a lot of people. A fair value gap is a specific thing. I don't know of any other way to call it other than maybe an imbalance, but I mean, that's just what a fair value gap is an imbalance. So you get a wick on this first candle and you get a wick on this second candle. Typically this one this one can have wicks too, but the main thing is going to be the first and the third candles and these wicks, okay? So what a fair value gap is the level between the top of this wick and the bottom of this wick, okay? So you take a box, You draw it out. If I thought I had box clicked, apparently not. Take a box, draw it out, and there you go. There's your fair value gap. And this is where price tends to come back to. Now, if you have bullish order flow, and what will typically happen is you'll get the 3 moves to the upside. You create the fair value gap. Sometimes you'll go ahead and get another candle to either to the upside. Let me basic white box. There we go. So you'll get typically a move up. Typically what I like to see is more of a consolidation candle, one that just kind of sits sideways, and then we could potentially get another wick in here. But what I like to see is for price to come back down immediately after, within the next 2 candles after the fair value gap is formed. That's when I want to see the next candle come down and tap. What you really want to see is a wick. You want it to form a wick going into that fair value gap, because that is showing that you're getting a bounce off of that fair value gap. So if you get a bounce off of the fair value gap, that means that it's likely acting as a bounce zone or as support. So getting a bounce off and even closing a green candle right here would help add that confidence that this thing is probably going to push higher. And this is also known as bullish order flow. So if it continues to push higher and then it creates, let's say it creates another fair value gap, you push higher, push higher. Come on now. Push higher. Okay. And let's say this creates a fair value gap itself right here. Top and the bottom. Pull out the fair value gap. Price creates the fair value gap. Price comes back down into the fair value gap on a wick. Like this. And then price continues. So what this is telling you is that we have bullish order flow. The order flow is bullish. That means that the orders that are getting placed in the market are stacking up and holding up price and pushing price higher. So we're getting bullish order flow in the market. The opposite is bearish order flow. So this makes sense. They were described to me as candles where market makers put liquidity in the market. I mean, it is going to be somewhere where there is liquidity, because that is why price comes back to it to draw on that liquidity, to grab that liquidity and fill those orders before it continues to the upside, before you get the continuation or downside, depending on which way the order flow is going. And this is also works on all time frames, and it is how I was able to not predict, but yep. LBC is showing how they're formed. Don't need an indicator. Should come naturally to your eyes. 100%. I can see them easy. They're so easy to spot, especially on higher time frames. But let's go to the Coinbase chart. Oh, I think I wanted to show you guys this because we were talking about this just last night. I said, watch that. We did say this was going to be the bullish one, but before that, we said, watch that value area high. Watch that value area high. What do? Come up to the value area high and reject. Okay, and this was prior to the announcement of the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. And what do you notice in here? I see several imbalances in here. several fair value gaps even. Now, what I like to do is I like to go up time frames until I get one solid fair value gap. Once I get a solid fair value gap right here, so now I got a 4-hour fair value gap. And here's a prime example of the bullish order flow actually taking place in here. So we create the fair value gap here from this wick to this wick. Very next candle comes down, wicks down into it, and then we push off of it. See that? The next one is a bounce off of an order block. Bang, bang. Comes up, comes down into the order block and pushes higher. So order block, that's also AKA demand zone or small consolidation, whatever you want to call it. But the main thing here is this fair value gap. And it just barely got tapped until this wick came down and filled the fair value gap. And then we close above the POC and we're getting a push off of that, hopefully to continue and to push to the upside now that we have filled the fair value gap. Let's go ahead and pull a fib on here from low to high. Came down, did come into the golden pocket. Yep. Came down into the golden pocket. Hopefully we can get a push off of that. So excellent, excellent, excellent. Looking good. Let's just continue to see more bullish order flow. We did come up into this order block up here. That's where we rejected from. But I don't know. Not looking too bad. In my opinion, nothing is easy until you practice and practice and practice some more. It took me a long time to see them. I use indicators to help me until I could see them without the indicator. Indeed. Indeed. I mean, I say it was easy for me, but I also would learn. When I first learned about fair value gaps, I did a massive deep dive into them. So, and I'm talking hours upon hours. I can't tell you how many hours I put into this, man, into looking at these charts, learning all the different ways of doing things, figuring out how, a lot of this stuff is just kind of the same as everything else. Everything else just has different names. This is the only thing, though. The fair value gap is probably the only thing that I know that's what it is. It's a fair value gap. I mean, I guess people can call it an imbalance. I mean, it is an imbalance, but you're describing what a fair value gap is. It is an imbalance. So I don't know what else. What else this whole structure is called? What else it could be called? So I don't know. Nothing in E Nation Park either. Took a drive and I can't believe how dry it is. It's drier than 2 years ago. The shell are falling off the shirt. I have no idea what you are talking about. Very easy to spot if you really need. There are a bunch of fair value gaps indicators. Yeah, there's a ton out there for sure. I wonder if Chart Prime has a free one. Chart Prime fair value gaps? Nope. They have a competitor that I will not bring up. But let me see. I know there's some other ones out there. Fair value gaps. Omega Tools. Flux chart. Never heard of these. Let's take a look. Let's take a look, shall we? All right, it's picked up this fair value gap. And look, it even adds volume to it. Oh, that's flux charts. Okay. That could be a promising one. Fair value gaps. And like with any indicator, guys, what you got to do is when you learn these things and learn concepts and stuff like that, you need to go into the charts and you need to find the fair value gaps, find how they play, when they play, why they play. Was there news? Was it during an economic data drop that we came down into a fair value gap? Typically, that's how it goes, just so you know. Watch for the data drop, look for a fair value gap, look for a shift in market structure inside the fair value gap on the 1, 2, or 3 minute time frame. Off and away it goes. Yeah. So I mean, there's a ton on here that you can check out. So simple ICT order blocks and fair value gaps. Whoa. Okay. Pretty simple. Show OB boxes, order block boxes. What does that mean? Okay, so right now it's only showing fair value gaps. This is a neat little indicator here. Mitigation type, close, say wick. I want the wick to mitigate it. But anyways, this kind of points them out. It's not very clear, but it's all right. You know what does point them out though? Chart Prime. Chart Prime Market Dynamics Pro. There we go. Check this out. Market Dynamics Pro does show fair value gaps and order blocks and triangles, apparently. Look at that. Let's see. Enable FVGs and imbalance volume. So this will give you the volume inside of the fair value gaps. So this says 430 Bitcoin traded inside of this fair value gap. And that's not what we came down to. 1 hour. Was that other one mitigated? Hold on, go back. Oh. Why is this? Is it because oh yeah, because it was mitigated. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, 1 hour. Another way to look at it is with price, any big movement, any direction, leaving unfinished business like price 100 to 150, the range between is fair value gap. Yep. Exactly. You do want to see if it's like an energetic move. That's what you're looking for with the fair value gap. That's what's most likely going to get tapped back into. If it's just like a little bitty fair value gap inside of something, and especially one that's not 3 consecutive of the same colors, you're more likely to fall through those like you did here, okay? And this came down into this demand zone is what I would just call this. I would just call this demand zone. Others would probably call it an order block. Same thing, same thing. Joe was talking about this trade intuition the other night. When it comes to the order blocks, it's basically supply and demand on the order blocks. Where is there a big block of orders where price reacted from? There it is right there. Came back down to it and then pushed off of it, coming into another fair value gap to the upside, minus 2,000 Bitcoin fair value gap. Supply. What happens when you come into supply with lack of demand? You fall out. Once you fall out of the fair value gap, you push back up into it, you reject from it, push back up into it again, reject. I mean, right here, you probably should be taking a short, not financial advice, just what I would do personally if I was watching this. Put my stop loss just above the high and then aim for the low over here. It takes it out even further, or you can aim for the other liquidity pool, or aka the 1 hour fair value gap down here. It does get down there. That is the more risky trade, but it's there. I would just take out most, at least, at this low right here. So there you go. Let's see. I don't like indicators, but I love chart prime indicators. Chart prime is a beast. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of indicators either, but I do like the chart prime. I mean, not tonight, but before I became a viewer of it. What? Phew, I almost got wet retrieving my Pansy Yorkies ball from the thin ice puddle. Will always think of fair value gaps and the thin ice puddle. Thanks for the description. I didn't realize how educational your stream would be. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, not tonight, but before I became a viewer of it. It's all good. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. I try. That's what I'm here for. That's what we're all here for. We all try to bring the education. I really hate saying alpha. I think it's cringe, but hey, if you understand what I mean when I say bring the alpha, then power to you. I just think it's cringe to call what I do myself alpha. If someone says you give the alpha, great. But if I say it myself, I don't know. It kind of seems kind of self-flating. I don't know. Just that's just me. But anyways, we do have some equal highs over here. Let's come down to the 15-minute. I bet there's some equal. We can see them even better on the 15. I don't like these patterns. I'll tell you that right now. I don't like the patterns. I do turn those off. That's just me. That's just a personal thing. I'm just not the biggest fan of patterns. They've got to be significant patterns for me. So I usually just turn these off. Interesting. Never done that route. Education and kindness here. Absolutely. Absolutely. Be nice. Be kind. And rewind. Okay? Please be kind. Rewind. I'm old enough to remember rewinding a VHS tape. We are all Satoshi. We are all Satoshi. I've been past Safford, but never kept going. They route through Safford back to Silver City. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Dang those winds. Man, the winds yesterday were absolutely insane, and it's why I'm probably clogged up today. Absolutely insane. I was so tired of the winds. But yeah. 15. Oh yeah, so right here. A little bit. I'd say, I mean, a little bit. I would call this relatively equal highs. That's what I would call it that. Man, I used to have, let me see if I can find, I don't think it is, oh, they got the sessions in here now? Oh, snap. London window, Asia window. Oh, I guess we got an update on the Market Dynamics Pro. Oh, I'll have to play with that. See what that's all about. And it does the order blocks too. Pretty cool. Like I said, that's more like supply and demand or support resistance, whatever you want to call it. But we do have the high order block sitting above us. That means it's a strong order block, and it's strong towards the seller side. So be cautious if price is to come up here to that 89,900 level, 90,000 level, and be prepared for a possible rejection. We'll see. I used to work underground at learning about chart prime. Yep. I will try to teach chart prime when I can. What was I going to? Oh, what's that indicator? I just want to. I want to say it's ICT concepts, maybe. SMC concepts. It's got to be a specific one. It can't be the top one. Sorry. Do you ever want to quit your job to trade? Every single day. That's the goal. That's literally my goal, is to quit my job to trade. I just got to get the account up high enough in order to feel comfortable enough to leave my job to do that. Which means I got to get up to about probably like, I don't know, 100K account. Yeah, I can't say that one all set. I'm sorry. Conflict of interest. Let's see. Although I can't say it. Price reaction, major chotch. You can learn about major chotches, major break of structure. If you want to learn about all this stuff, I'll tell you who you can learn this from. It's by a guy named, he's in the Otter Gang Discord by the name of Brewberry. Check out Brewberry. Dude is a whiz at smart money concepts. Little hidden gem of a trader. I would definitely, if you are interested in smart money concepts at all, definitely check out Brewberry's channel and streams, and you will learn from the master, one of the masters of the SMC. Do you use PvP to find naked POCs? PvP? Do you think the market will be volatile later, or the summit is already priced in? The market's going to be volatile not because of the summit, probably per se, maybe in the after hours. But the market's going to be volatile tomorrow because we have. That's not tomorrow. That's next week. Because we have ADP. Which one is it? There we go. We have non-farm payrolls and unemployment rate and a Fed Chair Powell speech, apparently. So this is what's going to move the market tomorrow. We want to see non-farm payrolls. What is this one again? Is an employment report released monthly, usually on the first Friday of the month, and heavily affects the U.S. dollar, the bond market, and the stock market. Current employment statistics program from the U.S. Department of Labor Bureau of Labor Statistics surveys about 141,000 businesses and government agencies representing approximately 486,000 individual work sites in order to provide detailed industry data on employment hours and earnings of workers on non-farm payrolls. Excuse me. But yeah, it's a payroll. Essentially, we want to see this. I think we want to see this beat. I think we want to see this beat the forecast. Show that people are making money. Maybe. Or maybe we don't want people making money. Maybe we still want to continue to kill this whole inflation is coming back narrative. That is nonsense, but it is what it is. In the United States, the unemployment rate measures the number of people actively looking for a job. Oh, yeah, this is unemployment, duh. Comes in higher. I say that means we're getting closer to the Fed possibly cutting rates. We'll see. If payroll and the other come in bullish, then tomorrow would be a fantastic day. Yep, I agree. Yes, been at it hard since oval bore passed. All right, I don't know what that is. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that. BTC WMT. I want to look at that. What is that? Where that? Oh, that's all Bitcoin macro. So this is Bitcoin versus the money supply weekly. Doesn't look too shabby. Looks like it's holding up. Bitcoin dominance, how we looking? Getting a little push up. We might finally get up to that last level up there with all this Bitcoin reserve stuff. And I could definitely see that becoming a thing, coming true to a crypto market near you. BTC1 still haven't filled the entirety of this gap here, but looks like our money flow is holding above the green line, but we can see it's coming out, and our true 7 is already flipped bearish, and so has our trend ribbon. I guess this doesn't show volume. I guess that's why it's not giving me all the data. Or is the indicator... Hold on. Oh, yeah, that's why. Overbought, oversold, signals, bands, divergence. There we go. All right. All right, overbought up here. We're on the weekly, so remember that. Let's go to the daily chart, see how we're looking over here on the daily. This is the CME chart, so that's why candles will look weird, okay? We are heavy in the red on our money flow on our futures chart. And yeah, still got a fair value gap over here on the daily. So I'll be watching that. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to talk about a perfect back test. Bearish back test with a rejection. This is going to have to be a slow grind, I think. I think this is going to have to really grind its way out of here. Okay. Then maybe it can get pushing. We shall see. And it'll go into May. And then it'll possibly be sell in May and go away. We shall see. But yeah, man. It's been a wild week, hasn't it? It's been a wild week. Started off Sunday with the announcement of the crypto reserve. We took back all the gains from that on Sunday or on Monday. We've been kind of just up and down ever since. It's been a wild week. And then today we get the executive order. And then tomorrow we get the crypto summit to wrap it all up. Plus the economic news, the non-farm payrolls, and the unemployment rate. So yeah, it's been a crazy week. And you know, the stock market sold off 1.5 trillion today alone. I believe it's probably sold off over like 2 trillion on this week, if not like close to 3 trillion. It sold off a lot this week. But that could be the rotation that leads to money going into Bitcoin. If Trump just established a Bitcoin strategic reserve, don't you think the institutions are going to want to get in? We'll see. Before we go, I said I would do it. So we're going to do it tonight, especially on such a celebratory night. And then we're going to get out of here. Market is going to kill tomorrow, yes, but let's pray to the moon gods and get our gains. Oh, moon gods. Oh, moon gods. Please bring us our gains. Oh, moon gods, bring our gains. We want to go to the moon and party on the beaches. Oh, moon gods, give us the gains. Bring us the gain. Bring us the gains. The end. Oh, man. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining me. I do appreciate each and every single last one of you for being here. It's been an awesome week hanging out with you guys, and I can't wait to see you again. Well, I'll see you tomorrow in the chats, and maybe, hopefully, we can. I don't think I might have some free time this weekend to do a live over on the Lunar Beaches Crypto channel. So make sure you go over there and hit that subscribe and hit that notification bell. And I don't know, you never know who might pop on with me. So yeah, check that out. And yeah, if you enjoyed this stream, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit that notification bell to be notified whenever we create new content or when we go live. And yeah, that is going to be it for me for the week. I hope you all have an amazing Friday and an even amazinger weekend. And don't forget to go outside and touch some grass and spend time with the family. All right? I love you all. And I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you all have an amazing, beautiful, wonderful, radical sleep and weekend. And I will see you in the next one. Mad love. Peace out. A good night.
Welcome to the night where we light up the spark. We're trading crypto, finance, you'll be mad on the charts. Hosted by the one, Lunar Beaches top shark. Dive deep into the numbers cause this ain't no lark. We're crunching all the data, making money moves fast. From Wall Street to the blockchain, making predictions last. Community together in this financial blast. Markets after dark, shatter ceilings made of glass. Mad on the charts with Lunar's bright lights. Crypto markets soaring through the night. Follow the trends, see future in sight. It's markets after dark, the financial flight. From Bitcoin to Ethereum, we're mapping the road. Stock tips and insights, secrets ready to unload. Trading strategies, sharp on knowledge be showed. Let Lunar Beaches guide you to the mother lode. Economic loops and the way the dollar flows. Community vibes where everybody grows. Analyzing trends while the world lays low. Markets after dark were only brilliant shows. Hit that subscribe and join the ride. In the world of finance where fortunes collide. Lunar's path will be your guide. Through the market storm or the market tide. On the charts with Lunar's bright light. Crypto markets soaring through the night. From Bitcoin markets soaring fast. Markets after dark, shatter ceilings made of glass. Mad on the charts with Lunar's bright light. Crypto markets soaring through the night. Follow the trends, see the future in sight. It's markets after dark, the financial flight. From Bitcoin to Ethereum, we're mapping the road. Stock tips and insights, secrets ready to unload. Trading strategies, sharp on knowledge be showed.
Go check out Trade Intuition right now. He's live. Mad love, guys. Peace out. Hashtag